Next up, we have Melanie McDermott, senior researcher with Sustainable Jersey. Melanie is going to talk a little bit about how to get involved locally with Sustainable Jersey land-related actions, lead-related actions for municipalities. So this is really where the grassroots, plays an important role. Equipped with what we've just heard, the tools and the resources and the knowledge base, how can we advocate for local needs at the local level, and how do we educate and how do we get people involved? So, Melanie, thank you so much for shining some light on that.
Well, thank you, Matt, and thank you to Cassie and Lead Free New Jersey for this invitation and for all the cool work that you do. Really important work. Let's see if this screen share thing is going to work. It always makes me so very nervous. Let's see. Do you see my slides? And not all my notes. Okay, excellent. Yes. Anyway, so we all agree that getting the lead out of our homes and protecting our children is all hands on deck situation. And so I'm here today to talk to you particularly about the role that municipalities, that our local governments can play in preventing lead poisoning. So go to the next slide, will you? Local governments have really important authorities and responsibilities that are central to how lead moves through our communities. And there are actions that municipalities can take that go beyond compliance with the new state laws. And in so doing, they may even pave the way for future legislation, just going that one step beyond compliance to show what more can we do. So you're familiar with these authorities. Municipalities are responsible for housing in the community. A lot of times for water delivery infrastructure. Sometimes municipalities do own the service lines or the mains. Other times they don't. They're responsible for code enforcement. So enforcing those regulations, inspections, and for public health, you all know that. So your local health department might be nested within your community if it's maybe a larger city, but if it's a regional or county health department, it will still be contracted with your municipality. So your municipality has important responsibilities in public health. And then for education and outreach and for connecting resources, connecting residents with resources that they can get from the state, from the feds, from various sources. So all these functions are super important, but they're often performed by different departments, different professionals, and sometimes those folks are acting in silos and have an opportunity to share timely information and coordinate action. So there's a lot that can be done and collaborate with nonprofits and with other agencies. There's a lot that can be done, believe it or not, even without more funds. Which we all know more time and more money is needed, but there's more that we can do with what we've got. And so that's where Sustainable Jersey comes in. So real quick, we are a network. We're a voluntary certification program for municipalities that identify the particular practical actions that towns can take to be more sustainable. And we provide tools, resources, guidance on how to do those steps. We have various grants that we offer, and we do have a Sustainable Jersey for Schools program as well, for schools and school districts that's similar. And we've been growing, and we have quite a big impact at this point. Started in 2009, and by now there 82% of municipalities have voluntarily registered for the program. Almost half of those have done the hard work to take steps and document those steps to be certified. And so how do you become certified in the program? Well, we have a menu of actions. We call them actions that are like best practices that towns can take to promote sustainability, which means sustaining environmental health and public health for everyone in the community where you live. And these are very doable items, and for each one of them, there's information on how you do it. If you document that you've accomplished that through our website, then you accumulate points towards our prestigious certification program. And you're part of a network. You're part of a collaborative. And a few years ago, Sustainable Jersey dove into the topic of lead prevention and produced this municipal guide to a lead-safe community, which is linked All the links in these slides, which you'll have access to after the presentation, are hyperlinked so you can go to these resources. I have to say this resource is already a little out of date, but in a good way, because, you know, with the new lead testing laws and stuff, the curve is moving, but the references in it are good. And so there's various strategies municipalities can undertake, many of which, not all of which yet, are correspond to Sustainable Jersey actions. And thanks to Cassie and colleagues and this opportunity, we've just sort of done an overhaul and refresh of the 7 lead-related actions in the program to bring them up to speed with the new legislation, updated resources. Do stay posted for about another week as we start uploading them to the website. But those links are on the slides, and I really encourage everyone to click on them and look at them after. But I'm going to give you a super quick overview of what we have. So we have an action for lead outreach and education. We have a lead blood screening campaign where you get points for different initiatives, different campaigns to get a higher rate of kids in your community screened for lead blood levels, partnering with your schools, for example. And then this action on healthy homes inspection and training. I really want to give this one a shout out because it's challenging, but it can be really impactful. It's got several components. It's got a training component. We partner with ISLES as a great training resource there. The notion is that any home inspection, anytime an inspector enters a home, they should have a healthy home checklist, which includes visual inspection for peeling paint, lead risks, but also for things like asbestos, mold, trip hazards, wonky electrical wires, so that you kind of get the full healthy homes treatment when an inspector enters your home. And it's crucial that there be resources that you can put the tenant or resident in touch with when you find those things. And another component of this action is if you provide voluntary home evaluations and testing, towns can accrue points for that as well. We have this data sharing action. It gets pretty nerdy here, but it's so important. I mentioned before that particularly health departments and housing departments have a lot of data. Health departments have data about child blood levels and about, that side of the coin that is often protected by, HIPAA and those types of things. And then on the other side, the housing departments know where units are in violation. If those are linked through a database or even a simple spreadsheet that has property address as the key locator, you can figure out things like, is there a particular landlord that owns multiple properties that have violations? And the different departments can talk together and work together to support residents. And that data sharing is a great platform from which to build a comprehensive lead strategy. So that's our other action. So with limited resources, it's really crucial that municipalities and local health departments prioritize. They need to identify which residents living where have the most need, the highest risk of lead blood poisoning, who face communication barriers like language, like immigration status. And it turns out there's a lot of even publicly available data to help do this. There's also more data that the municipality would collect. So just a real quick shot, that's Jersey City. And that map was made by me, and I have no GIS skills. Do you need to say something, Cassie?
No, I was admiring the map.
Oh yeah. So yeah, this is made with policy maps. So you too can look like a GIS professional, and it layers different things about the age of housing and the nature, the demographics of the area to target. You see the darkest purple are the highest risk. Well, that's Jersey City. A lot of the city is highest risk, but in your town, do you have outreach for residents of that neighborhood? If you have limited resources, maybe you should go there first and have a sort of systematic risk-based, they call it a risk-based approach to your lead strategy. And then we have action on removing lead in drinking water. So you've heard a lot about lead service lines, but as you know, lead can be found in fixtures. It's also found in brass. It can be found in solder. It can be found in the pipes inside your house. So to find out if you've got lead at the tap, because that's what you and your kids are drinking, you need to test the water at the tap. So municipalities get points for offering free or reduced cost voluntary tap water testing programs. We have a lot of examples of those, but I am not yet aware of a single town that has taken the next step and passed an ordinance that would require lead testing and even a step further, remediation at the tap for the turnover of properties or for tenancy changes. There's a private well outreach and testing because a lot of our state is on private wells. So again, the water needs to be tested at the tap. That's what we're drinking. And then over in our schools program, we have access to healthy water in schools action. And I just wanted to highlight that each of these actions has like a resource guide that goes with it. And for example, the New Jersey Lead Poisoning Prevention Toolkit, I think it's Green and Healthy Homes Initiative puts that out. That's linked in those actions. That's great to look at. And so I'm running down to the hour, but I really want to point to the fact that through this program, whether you're enrolled in our program or not, we'd love to have you on board. What this does is prove to your municipality that others can and are doing these advanced steps. So even if you're not registered, take a look at the resources. If you click on our map and you search by action, you can find other towns and cities that have implemented these sorts of things. So if your mayor or your council are saying, no, we can't do it, you know, this is too risky, or we don't have the resources, or, you know, you can say, well, actually, you know, our neighboring town of Happyville has already done this, and here's a contact person that we can reach out to and take a look at the documentation that is on our website. So with that, I'm wrapping. You can see my email and the info at Sustainable Jersey. If you have questions or comments that we don't get to at the end of this, I'd love to talk to you, and go out there and continue to do that good work. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Mel. That was terrific. And we should all aspire to be gold standard Sustainable Jersey communities. And it really is meaningful work. And it really it takes that kind of holistic big picture. We all want to be strong stewards of the environment and protect our communities from public health risks like lead. But it is really an aggregate of the small steps that need to be taken in order to have truly sustainable communities.